Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Romano. In today's video, we are going to be discussing why it is a good time to buy gold. And I'm going to walk you through what type of gold you can buy and how to position yourself in a turbulent future market. Now, you have to remember that we have cycles, and they're called economic cycles. And when you understand these economic cycles, you know how to protect your financial well-being. Now, gold prices as of this week are trading very low, and it's reaching a crucial point. If you look on the chart for a 5-year gold price, it's approaching its low. In order for it to go to 1600, 1400, that would signify that we have an incredible, amazing, booming financial market. There's an inverse relationship with gold prices and the stock market. So when gold prices go up, they're anticipating a stock market collapse. And when gold prices go down, the markets are actually doing well. For example, before COVID happened in 2019, the summer of 2019, you've seen gold prices start to spike. But that didn't make any sense because the markets were doing incredible. But the fact is, the real estate market started to do pretty bad in certain areas. And those areas were Manhattan. The prices of apartments started to come down before COVID. Why are gold prices going down right now? This is very mind-boggling, and it doesn't make any sense. But if you look at the deficit of the US government and what's going on with China and Russia, now this makes sense. Basically, they're selling the US debt right now. And because they're selling it, and for them to be dumping 100 billion or whatever that number is, that means something. They realize that if they take over Taiwan, our US government is going to sanction them and confiscate the wealth in America that they own. They own billions. And recently I found out that they're threatening to close down the meat production. They bought America's largest meat production company. And they're closing it down because they're saying that they can't make money because it's too expensive to make the meat here. I don't know how true that is, but you could see that they're getting rid of it because they're going to hold us, kind of threaten us that if they don't get their way, they're going to stop production on food products. They not only own those type of companies, but they own a lot in the US. So this whole issue right now is very bad. That's why it is a good time to buy gold, coins, not bullion, because if the government wants to back the dollar by gold, they're going to confiscate the gold bullion. They can't confiscate the circulation, which is coins. And so that's why you have to buy gold coins. You could buy your gold coins for about, I'm not sure the exact amount, it's around 1700 compared to what it was previously, 1900. And so that's a great way to hedge against the dollar. Of course, we have a huge deficit. And so interest rates are going up. When they print more money to pay for that debt, the government knows what they're doing. The government isn't stupid. They're here to protect us and their global dominance as a leader. Before we continue the video, please remember, if you want to say thank you, Anthony, do thumbs up. It's right there. All you have to do is just press the button, and that will let me know that you enjoyed my videos, and I will make future videos on those topics. Thank you so much. As China sells our government debt and liquidates their holdings, this is okay, but this is why our government has raised interest rates up so high, because they have to make you and me buy that government debt. You get it? So it's better to buy a savings bond and earn 8 or 9% interest than to invest in real estate when you don't know if the real estate price is going to go up the next year or two, or the stock market could have a collapse, which it's going to, because it's any day it's supposed to happen. Whenever we have a cycle ending and a new cycle starts, that's when a lot of things get shaky. So, as I've mentioned, you should be focusing on buying stocks that produce products for the manufacturing sector, meaning commodities, metals, any technologies that manufacturing sector would need. Those companies are going to be doing really well. That's why I say that you should spend at least 20% of your portfolio in gold coins. Remember to buy the gold coins that are made in Canada, the maple leaf, because those are the purest. The American coins aren't as pure. Where to hold those gold coins? Not under your bed. You need to hold those gold coins in a safe deposit box at the bank. Remember, you must do this. Very important. And of course, once you put your gold coins in your safe deposit box, at least 20% of what you're worth. As for your real estate, this is not a real estate video, but if you owe at least 80% mortgage, maybe you should get rid of that apartment or house or secondary house. Because if the real estate prices start to collapse, as they are already, they may not be collapsing in your neighborhood at this moment, but in the future they will. Because as the interest rates go higher, it becomes harder to buy real estate at what you could afford. Secondly, as the war progresses with Ukraine and also China and Taiwan, commodity prices always go through the roof. Whether it's iron, steel, titanium, whatever it is, you need those metals to make that machines and all those products. Secondly, if there is a war with Taiwan and China, you could guarantee you that there's going to be tariffs on China from the US government. What does that mean? Well, it's going to cost a lot more to buy a vehicle, anything for your house, etc. But this whole market doesn't make any sense because plywood, sheetrock has been going down. That means that the real estate market is cooling off. But you have to say to yourself, it's not just the real estate market and the stock market cooling off. If China realizes that their wealth is going to be confiscated, are they going to continue to buy up Manhattan real estate like they have been? Or real estate around the US? They've been buying up ranches in Wyoming all over the country. What's going to happen when the US puts sanctions against that and tries to confiscate their wealth like the US did with the Russian billionaires in our country, their yachts, their houses, etc.? Well, that's a big problem for our real estate market because I believe that our real estate market went up, at least 30% of what it went up was from foreigners buying up our real estate. So if we didn't have those foreigners buying up our real estate, whether it's China, Europe, whoever it is, our real estate market wouldn't have gone up so much as it did. So that means that if we have a stock market collapse, we are gonna not, our real estate price is not gonna go down 20 or 30%, but it's gonna be at least 50%. Because you have high interest rates that are going through the roof because the government needs us to buy those government debt. And so it's going to be more lucrative to buy that debt at 7-8% than 3%. And then you also have the people that can't afford to buy the same real estate because the interest rate is at a higher percent. So they have to buy less real estate or put down more money. So again, that's why I say it's a good time to buy gold right now, because at least you could park your money in a place where it's safe. You can't buy cryptocurrency right now. You can't buy real estate right now. And if you are buying an apartment or a house, put at least 50% down. Do me a favor, because you will not be able to sell that house for what you bought it for at least 7-8 years. Guaranteed. Because if we don't have China and the rest of the world buying up our real estate and propping up the markets, who's going to buy it? The average American is not making more money. They're actually making less. And the fact, as interest rates go up and inflation continues, meaning that the government has to spend more money and print more currency. So what does that do? That erodes the dollar. So everything becomes more expensive. Of course, the government is going to control that and actually reverse it. But before that actually happens, there's a disaster in our markets. There's a number of people, if you don't want to take my advice, Ray Dalio says the same thing. Real estate markets are going to drop 50%. And I originally said 30% in previous videos over the past year. However, now I see that what's actually going on in our global markets and the change that's happening with high interest rates. In other words, if the government was there to help our real estate market, they would actually lower interest rates and put it to zero. But they're not doing that. They can't, because they printed too much money and they need people to buy that debt. And in order to get people to buy that debt, you have to raise interest rates to make it more lucrative. Because if you could go buy a savings bond at the local bank and earn 7-8%, there's no reason to buy real estate, because you're not going to make that on the rent, right? And you're not going to make that on the equity, because the next 8 to 10 years, you're not going to make that in the real estate market. The markets have changed. It's the manufacturing sector that you're going to see that enormous growth. And so any type of company that produces products or helps that industry to come back to America is going to be where the growth will be. Make sense? So this next 10-year to 20-year cycle is going to be phenomenal, because anyone that has a savings that could actually make a product, you don't need to be a billionaire to have a manufacturing company. No, it costs pennies to make ceramic cups in your garage. It costs pennies to print spatulas with a 3D printer for your household products like spatulas, spoons, any type of Tupperware, any type of plastic product that you can make. It's pennies. You buy the plastic pellets, you put it in the machine, it melts it, and then you make the product. Get it? So for those people who still have their warehouses, who used to be in the manufacturing sector, it's time now to start manufacturing a product again. Since you have the expertise, all you gotta do is find a product to make that's cheap and that everybody needs in any type of economy. So that's why I say it is a great time to buy gold coins right now. Don't worry about if it goes down further, because remember, our markets are changing. And every time a different cycle happens, it creates havoc in other markets. I want to thank you so much for watching my videos. Please remember, if you like my videos, to subscribe to my channel so you get my future videos. And please, if you want to say thank you, Anthony, because you enjoyed my video, do thumbs up. It's right there. Just press it and say thank you. Secondly, if you want to share my video with your friends and families, use the share button. And then last, if you have questions and you want to ask me a question, send it to the live chat and I'll either make a video just for you like I've done, or I will answer the question in the live chat. Thank you so much for watching.